Well, I'm happy for our players. They've been crazy resilient through a tough go of it here with results, and they've been kind of right there. It feels like every night, and they're improving. And it seems like some of the things that have held us back from winning, they go and attack them the next day in practice. They've kind of stayed resilient, stayed together. So I just feel great that they got to experience a positive result tonight.
They came out early in the zone, trying to maybe force you to take three-pointers. You attacked instead. Just talk about your offensive performance early to get them out of that.
Yeah, Chad, I think talking about this in the locker room, the Big 12, the games just roll right at you, one after the other, without a lot of time in between. We've learned that the last 2 years. And so we came back from Central Florida. We had to have an off day per NCAA rules on Sunday, so we had a one-day prep. And, you're always going to do some maintenance with the things that we do. And then, Colorado's been changing defenses, three-quarter court pressure to zone, on makes and deads. They're man on misses. And I thought we did a really nice job as a team yesterday preparing for the zone and for breaking the pressure. And I thought our guys just executed beautifully against it in the first half to get great shots. Like you said, we were scoring at the rim, we were sharing the ball, we were flowing really well. And then in the first half, our defense led to a lot of great offense too. It was, that half is about as good as we've played on both ends for a consistent period of time. But we did a really nice job against the zone.
Baba, 25 and 11 tonight. You're not struggled, but not played as well as you maybe could have the last couple games. What did you see from Colorado defensively that gave you the confidence out there tonight?
I don't know. I feel like I just stuck to the main things, just playing with effort, crashing the old board, just making easy plays and playing around my teammates, and they were able to find me in high percentage looks.
As a follow-up, how much has it helped you with Mustafa playing the way he has the past couple games?
I mean, a lot. I mean, he's a great player. Like, now he's starting to make that mid-range jump shot consistently. It really opens up the game for everyone, honestly, because now they got to be aware of his little jump shot, and then it puts me in a position to rebound. So I think it's great that he's starting to play like this.
That team came back on Texas Tech. Did you expect them to come back, and what did they do to get back that close?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they're down 24 in the second, maybe 11, 12 minutes left. Don't quote me. You'll quote me on it. Don't hold me to that. But we were watching the tape yesterday or the day before, and, you're like, the final score because you've seen it, and I'm going, how the heck did that happen? Because it's 24, into the second half, whatever time it was. And I said that to the guys at halftime, that they're not going to go away. We're going to have to put them away. They're not going to go away. They just erased a 24-point deficit against Texas Tech, last week, or a couple days back. So, you knew they would give effort. I didn't think we were as good in the second half, but I really liked how we found a way to close the game out when it didn't go our way. That was the part I felt good about.
Only 16 threes tonight. Was that just a part of the way the game flowed, or is that something you guys are trying to adamantly work the ball in more and maybe work through Baba and Mustafa moving forward?
We definitely want more rim pressure and paint pressure. It feels like it's been an emphasis since the first day we got together this summer. And I think we're learning how to do that more within the things that we're doing offensively. But it's not as if we talk about how many threes we want to shoot. We'll shoot a bunch of threes if they're the right threes and the right shots. I thought, again, in the first half, our shot selection was great. Our decision-making was great. Not quite as much in the second half, but for the most part, we're improving there.
Wes, 17 turnovers for Colorado tonight, 30 points for you guys off those turnovers. Was there an emphasis on maybe finding a way to bring a little bit more pressure there to force those turnovers and get out to run and maybe get downhill, attack the rim, 35 free throws? Was there an emphasis on that in this matchup?
I think that's an emphasis for us every night. I think these guys. I think we looked down at halftime and we had 22 deflections with the way that we chart deflections. I think that was a season high and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Wouldn't you guys say so? Yeah. So we're 22 deflections. I thought that speaks to our activity. That's when we're at our best defensively. And then we can really convert and transition, but we gotta do the job defensively to get those stops to do it. I thought, and again in the first half, we did a really nice job of that. Yeah, I think from my standpoint, there's so much support. That's what I focus on. I think the guys feel support. I think they feel the cheers. And we're at a place where the expectations are really high, because of what's happened here, over such a long period of time. We all came here because of that. But I think to talk just about that takes away from all the people. There's almost 10,000 people there tonight, and there's a lot of people cheering and supporting. And I think that's the part that I think we all appreciate.
Coach, you had talked after the Lipscomb game about Baba playing with more, I think it was force or intent or purpose in both halves. He did that today, basically copy and pasted. Was that an emphasis that you'd brought up over the weekend or during last week about playing with purpose in both halves and kind of getting into that dominant
with
defense,
Baba?
Offense? Yeah.
I think Baba and I have talked about that all year. And quite frankly, I think, he's done an excellent job of not just playing like that when the ball goes up, but playing like that in practice and his workouts and his skill workouts, which are, most of our players, it's crazy consistent how they work on their game, but these two up here, it's religious. And if you watch his workouts, he's always working on his shot, and it will fall. I know it's frustrating him. I could tell when that one hit every part of the rim. But he's made it a priority to work on how he puts pressure on the paint and on the rim, and not just to score, but to make decisions for our team. And so I think it just keeps getting better and better, and he knows this. It's not even close to where it's capable of going, which is pretty cool.
You talked about the high expectations within and around this program. How do you separate the noise of the frustration from outside with trying to take care of business every day and make sure that that's not impacting the players in the program?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the players and just making sure that it's about them and what is best to help them get better every single day and get them the most prepared to go out there and compete. And that's the focus. That's the focus from myself and our coaching staff. It's about these guys. And, listen, it's a different era in terms of social media and all the things that go into playing at this level. So there's a lot that comes with it, but when you want to play in we all came here because we wanted to play in an elite program with elite standards. So learning how to manage that, I think, is something that we're trying to help our players with as coaches. And we're trying to make it about whatever we can do to improve and prepare to win the next game. And I think these guys in the locker room have done a great job of that so far. Because it hasn't been easy because we've been very frustrated with the results, and we feel like we've been right there.
Day-Day, how important did you feel like that little 5-0 stretch was as Colorado's cutting the lead? I think they had it to 5. You hit the 3, and then the drive to get it back up to 10. Could you feel the moment at that point that your team needed you?
Just my teammates just making plays, still being aggressive, just playing together, moving the ball, just taking the best shot for the team. So,
Wes, is there a new update or any update on Kerr's injury?
I don't have one tonight. I don't think it's months. I don't think it's hopefully not weeks, but he has not practiced yet. And so that'll be pretty exciting to get him back. I thought we'd really found something in the very short time that we had that combination of Kerr and Day-Day and Jizzle. We saw some of the best analytics offensively that we've ever seen since we've been here at Cincinnati, and it short doses with those combinations. So was really exciting, and so it'll be nice to get him back in the fold.
Coach, when you look at Day-Day's numbers, he's one of the better offensive players you guys have, but there's multiple other guys game in and game out who are much more aggressive than him offensively from a just pure field goal perspective. Do you talk with him about maybe shooting more threes, more field goals, or is that kind of a thing where you don't want to take him out of his identity as a true defender and kind of mess anything up?
Who is this?
Day-Day.
With Day-Day?
Yeah.
I think with Day-Day, we've been together so long, I think there's a trust that's been established over a long period of time, and he knows the kind of quality of shot that we want in our program, especially for him. And defensively, he's turned into one of the elite defenders, in my opinion, in the backcourt in college basketball. And so I don't think we have to have a whole lot of those conversations at this point. I think a lot of it's just said. I mean, he can look. Every once in a while when he does something he knows he should, and he'll look at me and kind of like acknowledge it. You know, that's probably about it. And very rarely do I have to say anything like get aggressive, because I think he knows how to play under control, aggressively, and make the right decisions. And then defensively, he's elite. I said this out on the radio. I do believe we got to make sure we're letting him get his rest. I thought there was a couple defensive mistakes he made in the second half tonight that were uncharacteristic, and I think nobody practices harder than Day every single drill. The assignments that we've given him to this point in the year defensively, the load we put on him offensively, we're running them off of tons of screens, and so we got to make sure that we're taking care of him physically too, so he's fresh for the games.
Another one or two, Scott. Bob, another physical game, 8th double-double. Are you now ready for the Iowa State defensive linemen that are coming in Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I approach every game the same. I feel like we all do as a team. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting game to play on Saturday. Yeah.
Wes, when you first sat down, you talked about the feeling of seeing the results. It's something you haven't seen here recently. It's something you've talked about wanting to be able to see. Now that those results happen, you get a win. Do you believe in being able to turn that into momentum moving forward or confidence moving forward? Is this something that can bleed into future games?
Yeah, and I think what I was trying to say is I'm really pleased that they got to feel the results, our players. You know, I think at 42 years old and being through 20-some college basketball seasons, I know that if you just keep doing the right things every day and you keep coming to work every day and you stay together and you have the right mentality, I know results will find us. Like, I know that. I've experienced it enough. But it's like telling everybody out here that has children, which I don't. I think you can relate to it. When you see your players, or if you have kids and you see them do all the things you're asking them to do on a day-to-day basis to get better, you want them to get the reward, right? You want them to go, okay, yeah, I did everything I'm supposed to be doing. Now I get to go, okay, I got some reward for that. And that hadn't been easy, but these guys have continued to be resilient and stay with it. And that's what I told them that in the locker, that's what I'm most proud of. And so I am pleased for them that they got to feel a result. Again, they've maintained the right approach for the most part day after day. And if they keep doing that, they're going to get more results. And I believe they will.